Nasser Al-Khelaifi wants to buy Liverpool. Rumours began to emerge that Liverpool could be bought by PSG chairman Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Qatar Sports Investment Group. It has also been associated with Qatari Sheikh Jude bin Hamad Al Thani's move to buy the club. Liverpool's current owners Fenway Sports Group put the club up for sale last month as current owners, led by John Henry, confirmed that Fenway Sports Group will consider new shareholders under the right terms. Attention quickly turned to who would replace him, with speculation that new owners could come from the Middle East, given the strong interest in the area to invest in football. Qatar Sheikh Al Thani has been one of the connected names in recent days. PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi is also said to be involved in the race. Ben Jacobs reported that the rumors claiming that the Sheikh wanted to buy the club were true. It also noted that any Qatar-based potential bidder, even if not involved, will first go to QSI for their approval. So PSG president Al-Khelaifi holds the keys to any bid from the country for the Reds. Al Thani is not the only Qatari investor linked to the club. There are reports earlier this week suggesting that Saudi Arabian and Qatari financiers are discussing joining forces while trying to avoid a bidding war. If this interest is consolidated, they will have to enlist support from Al-Khelaifi and QSI to continue. Consortia in the Middle East are not the only potential buyers, with investors in Germany and the US also believed to have made a bid for the club. FSG has held the keys to Anfield since 2010 and has helped bring success back to the club, particularly under Jürgen Klopp, who won the Champions League in 2019 and the Premier League in 2020. However, relations have deteriorated somewhat since the group was included in plans to form a European Super League in 2021. At the beginning of November, they announced their decision to look into alternative opportunities and issued a short statement. There have been a number of ownership changes and rumors of ownership changes at EPL clubs lately, and inevitably we are regularly asked about Fenway Sports Group's ownership in Liverpool. FSG has received frequent expressions of interest from third parties seeking to become shareholders in Liverpool. FSG has said before that we will consider new shareholders if, under the right terms and conditions, it is in Liverpool's best interests as a club. FSG remains fully committed to Liverpool's success both on and off the pitch. It is not yet clear whether any Qatari investors will try to capitalize on the opportunity, but if they do, it is clear that Al-Khelaifi will have a big say. Considering the stars PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi has brought to the French club, it's hard not to get excited. Under his presidency, the best players in the world such as Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi joined the team. It may not be a dream anymore to see such stars in Liverpool. Liverpool is very close to Jude Bellingham. Christian Falk reported Wednesday that Jude Bellingham's family would prefer to join Liverpool, and the German journalist has now made new allegations regarding the Reds' interest in midfield. Bellingham's close ties to Jordan Henderson and Trent Alexander-Arnold during the World Cup were much talked about, and if reports are to be believed, Liverpool are now well ahead of the queue to secure the 19-year-old's signature. Falk suggested the two sides were very close, with Bellingham's family and agent heavily involved in the negotiations. The Bundesliga will lose Bellingham next summer like Holland, it's getting closer and closer, Falk said. You will have heard that Bellingham and Liverpool are very close. There has been a lot of talk. His father Mark and mother Denise, along with their manager Mark Bennett, really focused on Liverpool in talks. However, Falk went on to explain the only issue he believed could break any deal that Liverpool and Dortmund said were too far apart in player valuations. The Bundesliga team is said to be asking for €150 million for Bellingham, while the Reds are currently willing to pay just €100 million, according to Falk. The only problem may be money, says the journalist. The thing is, I don't know how far Liverpool are with Dortmund in this situation. This will be an advantage for Chelsea, who are also in the race for City. But I've heard clearly, Bellingham's choice is Liverpool. There is nothing in his contract. I've heard that Liverpool are currently paying €100 million. That's around £86 million. So I'm not sure if they found a solution this early, he said. According to Falk, Bellingham sees a great chance to lead at Liverpool and also reported that the player's circle told Real Madrid that Anfield club was leading the race to sign him. Another question mark surrounding Liverpool's interest in Bellingham was whether a deal would depend on Champions League football, but Falk said he doesn't believe that is the case. It's not an easy decision, but Liverpool is bigger than the Champions League, he continued. When asked about Bellingham's instincts on where to go, Falk said he believes the Dortmund and England prodigy will be a Liverpool player next season. It's a matter of money. Things will get tougher if Liverpool can't pay Dortmund because they finally have a contract, and if they don't find a solution with a transfer fee, there is a danger that Real Madrid might knock on the door again, Chelsea might knock again, and City in particular might knock again, said. Jude Bellingham's family's preference for Liverpool will be a very important factor in his decision. It's also important that Bellingham thinks he can lead at Liverpool. It is hardly surprising that the English star is being asked for €150 million by his club after his outstanding performance at the World Cup. We have previously mentioned that Liverpool owners FSG wanted to give Klopp the Bellingham gift. If the club is sold before the transfer, the possibility of a Bellingham transfer seems very high, given that the new owners will come with more budget. The expulsion of Luis Enrique from Spain could offer the Liverpool midfielder an international comeback. Luis Enrique has paid the price for Spain's elimination from the World Cup after his surprise defeat to Morocco with his job. The 2010 winners were likely favourites for a quarter-final opponent against their neighbours Portugal, but after a goalless draw by their North African rivals in the round of 16 after extra time, Spain missed all their penalties. And former Barcelona boss Enrique was sacked as a result. News of Enrique's dismissal will not go unnoticed by Liverpool midfielder Thiago Alcantara. The 31-year-old is surprisingly not part of the Spain squad to go to Qatar, despite being one of his country's most decorated players. Thiago's form for Liverpool was not enough to convince Enrique to be included in the squad. The former coach also left out Spanish defender Sergio Ramos. But thanks to Morocco, Enrique will now have plenty of time to ponder whether he's making the right calls. Thiago himself wants to revive his international career ahead of the European Championship in 2024. The Spanish star started the season with Liverpool this year with an injury. He had to leave the game in the Fulham game and suffered a hamstring injury. The star player, who started to take time again after recovering from his injury, helped Liverpool get out of the groups, especially with his effective performance in the Champions League. Despite his age and injury propensity, Thiago is still a hard-to-find player, and few players can do what he does. Although there are not many players in the Spanish squad with his merits, Enrique did not prefer him. But now with Enrique's departure, the doors for Thiago's return to the national team may have reopened.